everybody. So today's activity, we're going to be making an origami dog. So origami is the art of folding paper without any cuts. And normally you need a square piece of paper. So that's the materials you're gonna need for today. Now this paper is origami paper. It's much thinner than regular notebook or printer paper. You certainly can use a regular sheet of paper if you have. So usually origami paper is in a perfect square. So if you don't have a piece of origami paper, you can use a regular sheet of paper, and I can show you how to make it into a perfect square. So if you have, it's a rectangular 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. If you start with one corner and fold it up until it meets the upper edge and put a crease in it, and then you would just cut this piece off right here. So you can cut here, and then when you open it up, you would have a perfect square of paper. So if you need to do that, you can. So starting with the origami paper, it doesn't matter what color you have, even though this is gonna be a dog, whatever color you have is fine. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to turn our paper so it looks like a diamond shape. So we want the points facing like north, south, east, and west. And what we're going to do is we're gonna fold down our paper from corner to corner, but I want to flip my paper over so that the white side is facing up. So when my dog is finished, I have this gray color on the outside. So I'm going to fold and crease the paper in half from top to bottom. So you really want to be very precise when you're doing origami. So do your best to fold it so that everything is pretty on point. So make sure your edges are lined up, and then you crease it, so which means you want to take your fingers and press down pretty hard like that so you have a nice crease, because that's what's going to help your design. Then the next step is we're going to fold it in half, but this time we're going to go from left to right. So we're going to go point to point or corner to corner this way. Again, lining up your edges nice and putting a nice good crease in there. So now it just looks like a smaller triangle. And then the next two folds that we're gonna do are gonna create the dog's ears. So we're gonna fold each corner. So I'm gonna fold it like this, and then I'm gonna fold this corner kind of towards what would be the center right here. And I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. So I want this corner to overlap the edge so it looks like he actually has an ear. And then I'm gonna try and match up this side the same. So that would be my dog's ears, like this. And I'm gonna crease it, and then the next thing I'm gonna do is fold a small portion, this little point down here. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna fold it up. And you could fold it up as much as you want. I'm just gonna take a little piece and again, put a nice crease in there. So that's gonna make the dog's nose. So essentially, our dog is pretty much done, and now it's up to you to design it. So I'm gonna take a marker and I'm gonna just color in some eyes right here, and maybe color the tip in right here would be his nose. And if you want to, you could put polka dots or spots or stripes. However you want to design your dog is fine. So origami is used a lot in many different fields. It's not just, you know, for fun. I mean, a lot of people do origami for fun, but they do use it in the automobile industry where they have to fit large things in small spaces. So if you think of an airbag in a car, they have to fit that whole giant airbag inside a dashboard or in the side of a door. So it needs to be able to be folded so that it will expand when it needs to. And then there's some other areas too where they have to fit larger objects in small spaces. So when they send, I'm just gonna add some extra spots here. When they send space shuttles up into space, they have to fit a lot of things in a small space. So they might have to have mirrors that fold, or solar panels that have to be able to fold up into a compact space and at some point then expand at a later date. Or a lens of a telescope, they have to be able to fold down and kind of compress if you've ever used one. And then sometimes different robots, they actually have that need to expand. So the robot starts out small and it actually will build itself and kind of get much larger. If you've ever played with a transformer, something along those lines, where your toy kind of folds down into a a smaller shape, and then once you unfold all the pieces, it gets much bigger. So they do use origami in a lot of other areas besides just with paper. So I just added a few extra spots to my dog. So that would be my finished product, like this. So I hope you enjoy origami and have fun creating your origami dog.